Thank you and welcome to ABB's Tech Talk on Parts Performance Management. I'm glad you could be here with us today. My name is Chris Powell with ABB Marketing, and I just want to go over a few quick items here. Our main presenter today is Cheryl Kasich. She is our parts and repair service expert at ABB, and she'll give you a little bit about her background here in just a moment. We'll be taking a few polling questions during the presentation, and so we do ask for your input on those. It does help us better understand what is happening in your world and helps us get better. And the audience is muted just to prevent any background noise disruptions. So if you do have a question, please send that to me, the host, in your chat feature in your toolbar. It's the little cloud icon, and we'll address those as best we can. And then finally, we are recording. So just wanted to make you aware of that. We'd like to make these available for viewing after the fact for those that are unable to attend. And then finally, if we do have any veterans on the call today, we just want to say thank you for your service and for protecting our country. We really appreciate it. All right, and I'm going to dive right into our first poll question, and that is, how do you purchase your spare parts? You could use ABB's helpline, that helps 365, or our email, parts services, or maybe your ABB field service engineer orders those for you through business online, or you may be using a third-party supplier, or maybe you just don't know. And so I will go ahead and launch the poll. And so we had 55% using the 800 number or email, 45% with their field service engineer ordering for them, 9% third-party supplier, 9% is unknown. Okay, very good. All right, and I will go ahead and pass the mic over to Cheryl Kasich. Cheryl, you have the floor.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Talking to you from sunny Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you for joining us today. Just a minute or two about me. I have been in parts and repair services for ABB for over 30 years. This is the part where I say I started when I was 5, and I can hear you all laughing. Most of my experience, actually all of it, has been in parts and repair services in one form or another. So I am very well versed in all of the challenges and problems that customers have is regarding their spare parts and how to manage them. And with that said, I also am very familiar with all of the different solutions that ABB has to offer. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you and addressing any critical gaps that you might have with your spare parts right now. Next slide, please, Chris. Okay, so I call this kind of our Parts 101 conversation. We're gonna go all the way to the beginning here and talk a little bit about how to reach us. So the 1-800-HELP-365 number that Chris actually mentioned in the first polling question, we've had that number for a number of years. Recently, we've added an option 5 for our paper customers. However, I feel like the bulk of everybody is using option 2, which says DCS. But either one, 5 and 2 will get you to parts, or 2 and 2 will get you to parts. The fax is hardly used anymore at all. And part services at us.abb.com is a group mailbox. And, you know, just like anything else, right? Probably 5 or 6 years ago, 80% of our business was done through that phone number. Now, 80% of our business is done through that email box. That box is manned Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. There are 10 customer service representatives that get assignments out of that box for quotations, order entry, or purchase orders, expediting, tracking. We provide return material authorization numbers for repair and return, as well as warranty exchange. There is an individual that will take care of any billing questions or concerns that you might have. We have a phone number for our pulp and paper drives customers as well. That number's come out here within the last just couple of years. And it's just a simpler version of the Help 365. you get two options on this. Do I need service or do I need parts? But either number, will get you to parts, and actually we'll get you to service. But like I said, just a stripped down number with just the two options, that 1-877 number. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Business Online, which is the web version there, in a few minutes on another slide. So we can continue, Chris. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the different types of parts that we sell. Of course, we sell new parts that have a 1-year warranty. That 1 year is what we get from the various ABB factories, and we pass that along to our customers. We sell refurbished parts, which have an immediate 30% discount off of new. And that does not include any discounts that you may have negotiated as part of your contract as well. So minimum of a 30% savings, but perhaps more. I think another great feature of the refurbished parts is that they have an extended warranty up to 30 months, which is unheard of. So as I have these conversations with customers and they learn this, I feel like customers are starting to take advantage of some of the savings and some of this extended warranty. An example of a refurbished part would be, it's a part that we repair in our Westerville, Ohio facility. So a customer would have a failed part, call us and need a replacement. We sell them a refurbished part and then take their part back as part of the transaction, and we refurbish it for someone else. We have a great deal of this refurbished material in stock, and it has the latest firmware revision always. We are also in the pre-owned parts business. We actually got into that business about 15 years ago to compete with some third parties that were out there buying old equipment and selling it online. Our pre-owned parts typically come into us two ways. We try to, and we've just this past year, tried to get in front of this with, as we propose new equipment or upgrades. Part of the proposal will indicate that ABB wants your old parts back as part of the upgrade. And then there will be an additional discount provided should you decide to do that on the proposal. The other method would be where we buy parts back from customers who have parts that they're no longer using. Often these are from sites where ABB has performed the service there for a number of years. So we are very confident in the quality of those parts. We do, though, take them back. We clean and test them in our repair facility in Westerville, Ohio. They sell for about 40% of a new part and have a 2-year warranty. Now, some of you that are on the call, I noticed, are buying pre-owned parts. And I believe I've even talked to several of you about this already, but we are right now in the process of a project to revisit our pre-owned parts pricing. And we will be launching a new pricing model in January. So what I will say is this: if anyone between now and January is looking for a pre-owned part, and perhaps you have found one that is cheaper at a third party, call me, let me know. You're going to get my information from this presentation. If I have that part in stock, I will price match it. I want you to buy that part from the OEM. I want you to know that it's a known good part, and I want to give you a 2-year warranty on it. So I hope you will take advantage of that. We also do repair and return in Ohio, in Westerville, Ohio. Again, those are about 40% of what it would cost you for a new part. We provide a 24-month warranty on our repairs. If it's an in-house repair, we can do that in about 2 weeks. If it is a vended repair, like the 800XA, for example, if that has to go to the factory, then that's where you're getting more into the 4 to 6 week lead time. We do offer emergency repair services should you need that. And that would be something that you would discuss with customer service, and they would give you all the ins and outs, but wanted to let you know that that is an option. I hope you never find yourself in that situation, but you never know. And the parts testing, we are going to discuss on another slide. So we can go to the next slide.
All right, this is our second poll question. And so what is your comfort level with your complement of spare parts? So your inventory choices are very comfortable, somewhat uncomfortable, or very uncomfortable. I will open the poll. Okay, very comfortable 20%, somewhat comfortable 60%, somewhat uncomfortable 10%, very uncomfortable 0.
Okay, next slide talks about a free offering that we have called Business Online. This is a free online tool that ABB offers to all of our customers. No limit as to how many people can sign up at your site for it. What you'd be able to see through Business Online is your net price. So it'll show your negotiated discount should you have one. It'll show availability. A lot of customers will use this, do like a screenshot from Business Online, and then get that over to purchasing and alleviate the need for an RFQ. So improve ease of doing business. There are pictures and technical information for most parts. Probably about 75 to 80% of the parts have a picture and some technical information. You'll be able to see all the different versions of the parts that we talked about in one of the earlier slides. So if you put the part number in, you'll be able to see, do we sell it new? Do we sell it refurbished? Do we repair it? Do we have it pre-owned? And all of the pricing that would go along with all of those different options, and if we have stock on those. So very powerful and a great way to save some money. So I guess, Chris, we're going to send these slides out, and then one of the things we'll ask is, does anyone want access to Business Online? And I will take that activity and just make sure that as we're setting you up, again, we want to make sure that you can see your discounted price. And I hope that you will take us up on that. Next slide. Okay, so let's get into how we analyze your parts. We want to make sure that you have all the necessary critical spares to keep you out of risk of an unplanned shutdown due to you not having a spare or a good spare. So we have a couple brand new tools we've launched this year through My Spare Parts Manager. And what we're looking at right now is an inventory download form. So we actually pull this form from your site. So it's looking at what you have installed. And what we do is we'll send this form to you should you want us to do a free analysis. And you will just complete minimum the part number, the quantity. You have to put a location in. And what I like to see in addition to the part number and quantity is something over where it says condition or packaging. I want to know, do you have any open boxes? In my mind, you know, an open box is unknown. The quality is unknown. We don't know if it's good or bad. It's opened. You know, I feel like everybody has boxes laying around, whether they're under the desk or in your desk or in the closet, that you've opened and you've used the part for one reason or another. And, you know, obviously it's not sealed up. Maybe it has a couple inches of dust on it, or a question mark, or bad with a question mark. We want to identify those parts, because we're going to talk here in a minute or two about a testing promotion that we're running that can help us to determine and help you determine if the part's good or bad. So I hope you will take us up on this analysis. It's quick and easy. I also mentioned, you know, if you don't want to populate the form, you can send us a download from your ERP system of all of your ABB spares, and we'll populate this document. The only problem with that is, again, we don't get that condition or packaging. And I think that's really crucial because you might have the part, but again, if it's open, you know, we don't know if it's good or bad. So I always say no one wants to reach for that part at 2 a.m. and hope that it works. Next slide, please. Okay, so that kind of segues us into this free testing It actually started out as a promotion a couple of years ago, and it was so popular that we've just continued with it. So there are about 2,000 parts that qualify for the free testing. They're actually any part that we repair again in Westerville, Ohio. A lot of the Harmony products and a lot of the QCS, just to give you an idea of what we'd be looking at here. But any, any open box where you don't know if it's good or bad, if it qualifies, we'll bring it back and we'll test it for free. You would contact customer service. So the process would work like this. You would put a group of parts together and then send it over to customer service, and they will look to see that it qualifies or not. Next slide, Chris. And then they'll provide an RMA number. We have to have an RMA number. We do not need a purchase order number. So you can use someone's name for that. But we need to provide an RMA number, obviously, so we can identify your parts. So we give you the RMA number, the parts come back, then we will, customer service will get back to you within about a week to 2 weeks with how everything tested out. So the part tests good, we send it back. No harm, no foul. We even pick up the shipping. So these boxes are free shipping boxes that we will send out as well, and customer service will discuss that with you. I hope you'll take advantage of that. I mean, if you do have a part that fails, customer service will quote you the repair price, and then it's completely up to you. Should you decide that you want to get it repaired or not, you would provide a purchase order and we would proceed. We could return the part unrepaired. We can environmentally scrap it, whatever you need us to do. Next slide. And this is, so once we analyze your inventory, we can then provide you with a gap analysis, which would be, again, I mentioned that we're pulling that form from your install. So we know what you have installed, what parts you have installed. And then we pull in the life cycle of the part. We show you what's installed. We take your inventory that you provided and we populate the report. Now we're showing you parts that you were missing. And then we're actually taking it another step and we're quoting you the part that was missing. So it's all in one beautiful little document. I'm happy to do that for anybody on the call. It's it's a free service that we're offering, and I hope that you'll take us up on it. Very, very powerful. And at the end of the day, my main goal is to make sure that you have all the necessary parts that you have, all the critical spares. No one wants an unplanned shutdown, and we want to do our job and make sure that you don't have one. Next slide. So say you needed a great deal of spares. This is our #1 solution, Inventory Access Program. It is ABB's vendor managed inventory program. We have currently 60 of these throughout the United States with over $5 million worth of inventory that ABB is managing for our customers. A couple of the key benefits: you don't pay for the part until you use it, and the warranty does not begin on the part until you use it. You can change the mix at any time. Should you have an upgrade and those parts are no longer relevant, then we would take those parts back and then we would put in what is relevant. These are typically a 3 or 5 year commitment. It's part of your service contract. It's like a line item added to the service contract. A couple times where this would come in really handy. So say you have an upgrade planned for next year, but you just pulled a critical spare off the shelf, a processor or a controller, and it's going to cost you $40,000 to replace it. But you just pulled your last spare out, you put it in, and you need another spare because you never know. But chances are you're going to spend that $40,000, and 6 months down the road, you're not going to need that part. You can start one of these programs with one part. The minimum value has to be $10,000. And of course, a processor or controller is well over $10,000. So you could start a program with that. And then in May, when you do your upgrade, ABB takes that part back, and then we put in the spares for your brand new system. If you purchase the spares for that brand new system, let's face it, you're probably not going to have to use one of those spares for several years. And when you do go to use it, it's going to be out of warranty, because remember, new parts have a 1-year warranty. So a couple great advantages to this. I'm happy to have a more in-depth conversation should anybody be interested in this, or maybe want me to speak to some other people at their site about this. The last really advantage that I want to talk about with the IAP is this rollover. And that's a situation where you have parts already in stock. And when you use your last spare, rather than have to buy another one, we add it to the IAP, and now you have an immediate savings. So hope you'll take us up on that. Next slide. Our current promotion right now is for those that are still running the smart platform. And I know that number's dwindling, and people are moving up to the network platform as components are becoming increasingly difficult for ABB to obtain. But we are running a special only for a month, so only through December 15th. Can you take advantage of this repair offer, which is 25% off? Again, you can call the 800 number to get an RMA number from customer service. And the parts that we are including in this promotion are listed on this flyer. And then we like to wrap up with the next slide, which is a little minute about training. And with COVID-19 closing down our repair centers, we have reopened. And of course, the class sizes as well as the number of classes have been reduced. So we took that opportunity a couple months to develop a few more virtual training classes. Those are listed on here. You can actually click on the course number to get information. The next slide shows you where you would go to see what courses you've already taken, so that in case there are any prerequisites, you would know about that as well. And we are offering right now 20% off all virtual training classes. Purchase orders have to be received by December 31st. You don't necessarily have to take the class, but we do have to receive your purchase order before December 31st to take advantage of the 20% off. And I think that's all I have, Chris.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. We'll now move on to our final, isn't really a poll question, but we have a lot to offer here. If you would like any information on these, this is everything that Cheryl talked about throughout the presentation, and so you can click as many as you like. I'll give that a couple minutes. And so parts and testing service, or if you're interested in that complete list of the qualified parts, our business online, the My Spare Parts Manager tools, repair in a box service, parts fingerprint and gap analysis, our inventory access program, our spare parts promotions, or our virtual training. Or if you'd like your ABB account manager to contact you, we can have that done as well. Okay, we do have a few questions here. Could you explain the difference between refurbished part and repaired part?
So a refurbished part would be where you're purchasing a part from ABB, and we have it on the shelf. We're sending it to you, and you're returning your part as more or less like a core credit as part of getting that 30% off. A repair and return would be you send your part in, we repair it, and we return it to you. You get your own part back. So not off the shelf. You'd have to wait the week or two or however long it takes to do the repair. I hope that answered your question.
All right, very good. Our next one is, what is the average time frame duration for part status change? For example, active to limited or limited to obsolete.
Oh boy, I guess I will get back to you on that. I don't want to give you any bad intel. We definitely have a, so we go from active to classic, to active, limited, classic, and obsolete. Greg, if you're on the call and know the number of years for all of that, feel free to chime in. But I will take that action and get back to everyone with that.
Yeah, I'll just add one quick comment. The life cycle of parts follows the product life cycles. They're not really independent. Sometimes it's the same, of course, because you'll have a module that is a part is the unit. But the overarching product life cycle still is what we follow. But yeah, for those brackets and time frames, it changes by product. That should be a good follow-up.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And then our final one here says, could you again just talk about the price match model you are working on?
Yes. So what came about, we just really came about doing that here in the last couple of months, because what I was noticing as I was having these calls with customers is that our pricing is high, again, for these pre-owned parts. And so what I came up with was kind of like a stopgap type of a solution right now until we can get the new pricing rolled out in January. Is if you are shopping for a pre-owned part and you find a pre-owned part from ABC company and it's less than what ABB is charging, I need it to be verifiable somehow. I need to be able to verify that. So you can do maybe a screen grab. You don't need to show me who you were looking at, but email me that. And if I have that part in stock, I will match the price from the third party. Again, it's kind of just a stopgap type thing until January comes. But really, I don't want anyone out there buying parts that are from third parties, and you just don't really know the quality of that part. And I've been talking with some customers who have had to buy 2 or 3 parts from someone, and yeah, you might have paid less, but you had to buy 2 or 3. I want you to buy them from the OEM. I want you to know that when you get it, it's going to be a good working part, and I want to provide a 2-year warranty. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, I think that was very informative. All right, well, that's all the questions we have. And so we will bid adieu. Thank you everyone again for joining us today, taking some time out of your day to hear us. And if you asked for some follow-up, we will be in touch soon. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.